Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is AJ Edwards and this is Mr. E's Classroom. So today is a very exciting day. Today we're going to go on a little adventure. We are in Gifu Prefecture in Japan and we're going to go visit a castle today. But before we visit the castle, the first order of business is we got to get to it. So we're going to be climbing a mountain. We're going to be checking out a real castle here in Japan. And hopefully we don't fall and break anything. It's a pretty rocky trail. So this is my second time visiting Gifu Castle. The first time I didn't go inside, so this is my first time going inside. So I'm really excited for that. It's a pretty tough hike. I think it's over 1,000 meters. You know, it's a beautiful sight at the top. So we're gonna go on an adventure. I'm here with my wife, my daughter, my dog, a little family trip to Gifu, so hopefully you guys enjoy going on the adventure, and yeah, let's have some fun. So a future goal of mine for this channel is to actually do some videos teaching the history, like local history of different places from around the world, give you a chance to learn more about different places, whether it's in America or if it's in Japan or wherever I can get myself traveling to once the COVID situation goes away. So unfortunately today I didn't really do much research for Gifu Castle, so this is going to be more just exploring the castle and exploring the mountain. But in the future, hopefully I can do some videos teaching you guys a bit about different historical places and really give you a chance to get experience some really cool places. So let me know in the comments if it's something you'd be interested in doing. But without further ado, let's climb this mountain. So yeah, we got to go up the mountain. It's gonna be a heck of a climb. I think last time my wife and I did this together, it took us maybe, what was it, about an hour to get to the top. All right, come on. It's beautiful scenery though. Was it like an hour the first time? So we're thinking with Aria, it might take us 2 hours. So one cool thing about Japan is there's a lot of, you have your big cities, but then, short commute, you have things like this, you have nature, really beautiful things. Okay. Here we go. Alright, so we got to keep on the trail. So it's a little steep, it's a little rocky, but it's a beautiful view. There's a lot of really nice viewpoints. It's very pet friendly. As you can see, we have Buzz here. Many people bring their dogs. Aria.
Stay close.
Stay close to mommy and daddy, okay, baby? A little crowded today, so I gotta try to be mindful of my camera. Alright. Oh! Alright, my first almost fall of the day. We're gonna have to keep track of how many times I almost fall and bust my face. Beautiful place. So yeah, the trail is pretty much like this. It gets really steep towards the top. So I'll probably do intermittent recording just so everyone can see what it's all about. But we have Buzz, whose 4 legs gives him an inherent advantage compared to my 2 legs. There you go, Aria. Whoa. Okay, we're 1-1. Score 1 for my, 1 for me.
Aria, it's really dangerous. Okay?
Yeah, Aria, you want to stay close to the wall, okay, sweetie?
Okay, stand this side, okay?
Mountain Safety 101.
I know.
Stay close to the wall. And there's Buzz, not even phased.
But
I
this
think we're going this way, buddy.
It's Umanos.
Yep, so we're on the Umanose Trail,
Umano.
heading left. Umanose Trail.
Me is strong.
What?
See, there's a ropeway. If we were smart, all right, you are strong. If we were smart, we'd take the ropeway. I think the little one might take the ropeway down. This is her first time climbing a mountain. Now, back home.
That first in the YouTube.
So back home, we have the Rocky Mountains. We have plenty of mountains everywhere we go. But she's, you know, she was a little small, but now she's at that point where I think she can do all right. So anyway, so my hope is in the future with this channel is to find more historical places that are really, you know, some famous, some not so famous, and do little exploration videos. So if you are interested in something like that, leave a comment. Okay, so it is 2,100 meters to the top. We've gone 200 meters to the park. So the park is 200 meters down. The top, the castle, is 2,100 meters. So let's keep going. Come on, Aria. Go to the top. Go to the top.
Alright.
But my goal is, you know, I love books. You know, I'm a history teacher. I'm an English teacher. So I'd love to teach, you know, not just things for teachers, but things to help people really fall in love with different history and different places. And, you know, once COVID is more under control, hopefully we can have opportunities to come and explore places like this. We're very lucky to have been able to come out here. So we're hoping to be able to get more people interested and more people excited about history and just seeing what's there. So, got a long road ahead of us. Let's keep going, huh, Buzz? So as I hike this mountain, it just makes me think about, you know, in the old days, you know, if an invading army wanted to attack this castle, you know, I mean, how difficult would this be? So, you know, I served in the Marine Corps. We did mountain warfare training in Bridgeport, California. You know, mountains they're not easy. So just imagine being, you know, an old samurai trying to fight for the shogun and, you know, wearing the heavy armor. It's not as flexible, it's not as giving. I mean, this is pretty rough terrain. So just it's a really natural place. There's natural defenses, that's what I'm trying to say. But, you know, I mean, look at how, just imagine trying to get up these hills.
Down.
Or even down these hills, yeah. When you're, you know, carrying armor, not to mention, you know, how tired you'll be. So by the time you get to the very top, you're exhausted, you're hot. Japan's a very humid place. And then you gotta fight. And when we get to the castle, I'll show you the natural defenses they put in and the really smart ways that the shoguns would protect their castles. And it's just really cool to think about. So as like an infantryman, you know, who you know, who dabbled a little bit in, you know, making assaults and, you know, fighting in, you know, mountainous terrain. It just gives you a lot of respect for those who would, you know, go into battle without fear, with the resilience in their hearts, the dedication to win, that commitment to honor and duty. It's impressive. I mean, look at this. Let's just run up here with arrows or old original blunderbusses. It's a heck of a thing to think about, huh? Yeah. Buzz isn't even breathing heavy. As you can tell, I'm breathing heavy. We've gone 600 meters. We've only gone 600 meters. 600 meters. Gotta be careful to fall on the rocks. But yeah, so I mean, just imagine running, I mean, just making an assault on this castle. You know, it's a great place to put a castle. Plus in the wintertime, the snow is beautiful. And even in October, it's probably like 80 degrees. probably about 70% humidity. So coming from a more drier place in America, you know, I mean, I grew up in the Chicago area, so humidity is not a bad thing, but being away from humidity for a while really got me. So, you know, it's that adjustment to the humidity that's really getting to me. But yeah, so let's keep going. We're about a quarter of the way to the top. I wish I could show you some cool views. Maybe we'll take a peek at the next scenic route. So the fall count is still 1, so let's keep going. All right, we're at the halfway part. Well, almost 1,000 meters back to the park. So this is Koemade Castle. It's 1,300 meters, baby. Going strong. What's amazing is, so Gifu is a relatively country area, but it's close to the city of Nagoya, which is like the 3rd largest city in Japan. But you can get away from the city and come to this beautiful nature. Whew, this is a ankle breaker for sure. Yeah, and then Buzz just runs up it like it's nothing. You show off. Buzz, do you like to read? Do you like, what's your favorite historical figure, Buzz? Tell the viewers something interesting. Let's not see. I'm gonna edit it out. There we go. This is Buzz view. I almost had my butt busting number 2. Only got 1. Hey, just remember, if I fall, it goes on YouTube. Wow. You know, they couldn't have made this any easier. Just all the rocks. It's not even like challenging in the sense of like the exertion of energy, but finding the footing, maintaining balance, that's the part that makes it tiring. I mean, obviously it's, you know, it's 2,000 meters mostly going up, but the hard part is just navigation. It's fun. It's fun though. Anyone that wants an adventure. Next stop, Mount Fuji. Dozo. Ah, いいです。あ、英語いいね。上手。こんにちは。彼は疲れてない。でも私が本当に疲れてね。イージーですね。
イージーですか。犬にとったらイージーだね。
ねえ。よし、行ってね。よし。あれでしょ、前、女の子英語が話せます。英語が話せます。上手ね。She said thank you. She said thank you. 本当上手ね。はい、頑張れね。Let's keep going. Beautiful view. Oh yeah! Let's see if we can see this through the trees. There it is. Okay, you can see the castle through the trees. That is our target. That is still pretty... That's still a good distance away. Let's keep going. Oh, there we go. That's a view. Let's wait. Wow, Aria, look at that. You forget that it's like noon because it's so cloudy and or so many trees. What do you think, Aria?
Beautiful view.
Beautiful. All right, let's keep going.
Almost.
Yeah, almost.
500 meters. 500 meters away. There you go. There it is. Again, I'm just imagining trying to be somebody trying to occupy and attack this mountain. Yeah. Can you imagine? I mean, we're walking, we're resting. I would say I'm probably about 50%. Yeah. Like, I'm not even 50%. I'm actually pretty good. But can you imagine carrying body armor, weaponry? All right. We finally made it to the castle. All right. So we made it to the top. It took us about 90 minutes. With Aria, it was actually a lot faster than I thought it was going to be. It's actually been a little bit since we got up here. We went to a squirrel museum, but a little sweaty, but not too bad. But let's go take a tour of this museum, the castle. Yeah, let's go check it out. All right, everybody. So this is Mr. Edwards from the future. So I went to do this hike without planning on doing any like historical teaching, and I didn't really do much research on Gifu Castle besides what I already knew. So I decided to do a little bit of voiceovering to just give you some facts and just give you some ideas about a quick hit run of the history of Gifu Castle. So Gifu Castle was originally named Inabayama Castle, and it was first built by the Nikaido clan somewhere between 1201 and 1204 during the Kamakura period. It wasn't until September of 1567 that Inabayama Castle was finally changed into what we now know as Gifu Castle. And in September 1567, Oda Nobunaga, who is very well known and very important part of Japanese history, he laid siege to Inabayama, and that siege lasted about 2 weeks. So 2 weeks of fighting before eventually Nobunaga's forces were able to send a small party to the unguarded rear section of the castle, where they were able to sneak into the castle, open up the gates, and let Nobunaga's forces pour in, and they were able to sack the castle. And that was when he changed the name of the castle to Gifu Castle, which was his way of following an ancient Chinese tradition. And of all the occupants of Gifu Castle, I think Nobunaga is probably the most well-known and most notorious of them. Again, he's very important to Japanese history, and he was known as the Great Unifier of Japan. So Nobunaga eventually got betrayed and killed in 1582, and they can probably make a really cool movie about his betrayal and his death. But anyways, after his death, a number of occupants stayed in Gifu Castle, but there really wasn't anyone of notoriety until 1600, when Ishida Matsunari decided to fight against the Tokugawa Ieyasu, who would become another huge part of Japanese history. The Tokugawa shogunate is notorious. So in the end, Gifu Castle was sieged for a day before it fell. So what took Nobunaga 2 weeks took Tokugawa a day. So eventually Ieyasu gave the castle to his son-in-law Okudaira Nobumasa as a gift with the establishment of the Tokugawa shogunate. However, the castle was in such a bad state that Nobumasa decided to build another castle at the base of the mountain, and they decided to take some parts of the original Gifu Castle with it to help construct this new residence, leaving the rest of what would be the ruins of Gifu Castle there to be treated with time. So just to serve as a symbol of the respect and admiration the people of Gifu still have for Nobunaga, when you walk up the stairs, the first thing you see is this huge sculpture of the man himself, Nobunaga, there staying guard in his castle, still maintaining his power on the throne. Again, he was a very important part of Japanese history. His power as a warrior and as a general were notorious, but also his ability to help unify Japan was also known throughout the world. So it's really cool to be able to see him symbolically still sitting in his throne as the master of Gifu Castle. Okay, so we're about to look at Nobunaga's seal, but while we're looking at the seal, I want you to remember that armor that we just saw a second ago. We're going to get to that here in a minute, but imagine the hike that we had done, but now imagine that it's the middle of the summer, it's humid, and it's 80, 90, 100 degrees out, and you're wearing this armor to get up and assault this castle. It's leather, it's metal, it's hot, it's humid. If this doesn't give you a high level of respect and admiration for the samurai and for the warriors that were committed to duty and honor and service, I don't know what will. So perhaps a very unique thing about Nobunaga is he was very open when Christianity first came to Japan. He was very accepting of different religions, and these two telescopes were gifts from the Portuguese. And in 1569, a Portuguese Jesuit missionary named Luis Foix became friends with Nobunaga, and their friendship lasted all the way through the remaining time of him as a daimyo. It's just really cool that that kind of relationship was created at this period of time, and it's very unique, in my opinion, to what makes Nobunaga really notorious. So looking at this rifle, it's important to remember that guns were first introduced to Japan by the Portuguese in 1543. So weapons like this were used in the defense of the castle as well as in the sieging of the castle. Now, to what extent I'm not 100% sure, so don't quote me on the amount of times or the amount of firepower they used, but it is important to keep in mind though that there was firepower as well as hand-to-hand combat used when conquering this castle. And you look here, that is a copy of Nobunaga's armor. So just to give you more of an idea of the things that he would wear when going into battle. Alright, so as I make my way to the very top, I'm going to show you guys a beautiful view of Gifu, and you can't really see the city of Nagoya, but on a really clear day you can see Nagoya all the way in the distance. But as we look at this beautiful artwork and we look at the beauty of the city of Gifu, let's talk a little bit about kind of the tragic recent history of Gifu Castle. So this castle is a replica, and it was built in the 1950s because unfortunately the remains of the original castle that was left behind were destroyed during the US firebombing of Gifu on January 9th, 1945. So during World War II, the city of Gifu was a home to a factory of Kawanishi Aircraft Company, and it was thus considered to be a valid target because it produced part of Japan's capability of producing war. So it was declared a valid target during the strategic air campaigns that were happening towards the end of World War II. Gifu was also a large industrial center during World War II, making it a potential target for U.S. and Allied air bombings. So on the night of July 9th, 135 Boeing B-29 Superfortresses attacked Gifu from the south. Due to the weather conditions and the fact that, as you can see from these views, Gifu is a relatively flat city, the incendiary bombs that were dropped from these super fortresses created a firestorm which destroyed pretty much all of the city center. All in all, the attack was 46 minutes, and they dropped 421.4 tons of E-46 and 477.4 tons of E-47 incendiary bombs were dropped on the city. Unfortunately, the citizens and the fire brigades that tried to fight the blazes, they weren't equipped to handle the napalm that came from the bombs, because the majority of people that were there were pretty much using just buckets of water to fight the flames. So in the end, after all was said and done, the air raid killed 818 civilians and injured 1,059, with 20,363 homes completely destroyed, which left about 100,000 people homeless. After the war had ended, about a year later, the U.S. Air Force reported that about 74% of the city was completely destroyed during that campaign. Alright everyone, thank you so much for joining me on my tour of Gifu Castle. As you can tell, it's got a beautiful view, it's a beautiful way to the top. It's not the fullest castle that I've ever been to in Japan or elsewhere, but it's still a wonderful experience to go there. There's a lot of rich history, so thank you all for joining me. I hope you all have a chance to explore this place one day and enjoy the beauty of Gifu. One last thought about this castle that I really love, and I noticed this in a lot of castles. If you notice the base of the castle, there's probably like a good 15-20 foot really smooth vertical wall. Just the natural defenses they put in these places is wonderful. You know, I mean, not only do you have to climb up this big honking mountain, you know, go 2 kilometers from the base to get here, but you also need to go up these walls, you know, up these side walls here with, you know, people shooting at you from here, because they did have black powder rifles. They had rifle technology. I mean, obviously it wasn't very accurate, but you know, just think about what was coming out of there at the people trying to climb into the castle. I mean, any attempt to take a place like this, man, it would cost lots of human lives. So, you know, shout out to those who tried to conquer this place. Nobunaga was pretty pimped out, so excellent job. Alright you guys, I can't begin to tell you how cool of an experience this was. You know, we got to climb up this beautiful mountain, go 2,300 meters there, see this beautiful castle, get to just be really in touch with history and really in touch with nature, so it's a huge opportunity. So if anybody ever has a chance, come down to Gifu. Come out to Gifu province here in Japan. Come visit Gifu Castle. It's worth the trip. It's a butt kicker going up, it's a butt kicker going down, but it's an excellent experience. So thank you all for joining me for that. Alright everybody, so we finally made it down to the bottom. It was a pretty awesome trip going up to the top. A real butt kicker, so if you're ever in Gifu province, it's right next to the Nagoya or the Aichi Gifu border. It's an awesome trip to the top. Lots of great experience with history. Get to really get in touch with nature. So thank you all for joining. It was a fantastic experience. Now it's time to go get some food and take a nap because we're a little tuckered out. So thank you again. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe if you're new. Otherwise, thank you for coming by, and as always, make it a great day.